Welcome to GaryCon Live, broadcasting here live from GaryCon, the original in Lake Geneva, the original home of Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, so good to be back here at GaryCon. So excited, and excited to be the first event on GaryCon Live. I'm Peter Adkison, and we are going to do an Actoroke Slam. We're also being hosted on Gen Con TV. So anybody watching there, hello. So I am your host, Peter Adkison, your dungeon master and your director, and I'll be the editor as well. My players are veteran Actoroke actor Bryan Cp Steel. Introduce yourself, Bryan.
Well, you just did. I am Bryan Cp Steel, writer, author, sculptor, painter. I do game stuff. I am the professional nerd.
There you go. And new to Actoroke, Liz Bienemann.
Hello, this is my first stream ever, and I'm super excited to be here playing with these amazing people.
Aww. You do have some amazing players to be playing with, Liz. Absolutely. And also new to Actoroke, Derek W. White.
Hi, my name is Derek White. I am known as the Geek Preacher, and I'm also the chaplain for the GaryCon Gaming Convention. Glad to be here. Thank you, Peter.
Oh, we're all so glad to be here, aren't we? This is so much fun. Okay, this game, by the way, Dungeons & Dragons, sort of, is set in the world of Chaldea. But I just heard a giggle off to my left. Somebody's not on camera really in an obvious way, but will be on camera, is Tinnel Lovitt, our professional illustrator who will be illustrating our scenes live as we play. Yes, so Chaldea is a gritty fantasy world, sort of reminiscent of old school D&D with giants and undead and orcs and trolls and psionics and dinosaurs and all that stuff, but with sometimes dungeons too. Yeah, you never know. So in Actoroke, we turn role-playing games into movies. The way we do that is that we play an RPG, like we're going to do today, and then I take and direct actors performing a screenplay adaptation of that role-playing session, and then we take an editor, which happens to be me, and we edit that together into a movie. I always have to use air quotes around the word movie. And normally we do that in a studio back home, and it takes us 3 weeks to do it. And but here at GaryCon, we are doing an Actoroke Slam where we will do that whole process in 4 days. Yeah, we're crazy. We're certifiable. That's right. So if you're watching, we're doing RPG now. The recording of the actor session will be streamed live here, and it will be at Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then I have like a day and a half to edit it. Thank God. Jeff Moore will be helping me out. And the movie night will be Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. So there we go. And the way we do this is we make the game really short, and I don't give the player too many choices. So this thing, you heard the term on rails. This is like on rails with that extra guard in the middle, like I think it was the O-gauge trains that had the extra. Anyway, I'm really going down a hole. All right, so before we jump into it, I will like to remind you, yes, we do have safety tools here. So if you feel like you're disturbed, not in a general sense, but in that moment, if the topic is inappropriate for you, like you would rather do something else than just, do this and let me know, and we'll shift or fade to black or somehow. All right, so the way we do this is we make this, to make this whole thing work, we have to go fast and get to it. So let me brief you players. They have not played this game before, so I'm explaining to you and them at the same time. Okay, so you will only have agency during scenes. Okay. So I will narrate to you the setup and the stitching material between scenes, okay? And there will be 3 scenes. So a lot of stuff's already been decided for you. So when we enter a scene, we will interact more or less how you would expect in an RPG. And at some point, I will say, okay, we understand how this scene is going to play out, like in terms of structurally, is this a fight? Is it a negotiation? Is it a run away, that sort of thing. And at that point, I'll call a stop to this back and forth, and you'll each roll a die, a D20, And that one single die roll represents how well you do for the entire scene. It's just like taking all the dice you would normally roll in the course of a D&D combat and just summing it up in one big roll. But there are some things that might help you. If you roll a 1, it's obviously a fail, and you'll get to narrate some embarrassing consequence in addition to being a fail. If you roll a 7, it's possible that you will have attracted some help from an Anumian. So let me explain that. In Chaldea, our version of astrology and the tarot thing is called the Anumians. These are constellations that are up in the sky, and they influence day-to-day life. And there's 55 of them, one for each week, and 3 more. So on a particular night, and right now, this particular week that's happening now, there's the Anumian that is manifested in the sky, and I roll these randomly, is Fat Merchant. And what Fat Merchant encourages is negotiation, investment, barter, appraisal, business, and loot. Money, okay?
Now, would that be a corpulent merchant or a merchant that sells fat?
The former.
Okay.
Yeah. Fat on the luxurious lifestyle that he is afforded because of all his business and negotiation and all that stuff I just listed. So if you roll a 7, if you can convince me that what you're trying to do is something that Fat Merchant would applaud and look down upon, and if I agree, then you get to reroll. Now, it's possible you may not want to reroll, because sometimes if it's a really easy test, a 7 might be a success already. You'll know what the success criteria is. Conversely, if you roll a 13, and I think, you are actually acting against the wishes of Fat Merchant, I might insist you make a reroll, which might actually be good too, because you might roll higher than a 13. So if you roll a 20, you can give another player a reroll.
Oh, cool.
Okay, you might notice on your character sheet that you have standard abilities. So if you're using your standard abilities, then you're just kind of narrating out, this is I'm fighting or whatever, right? And then the rolling is normal. Once during this next hour, once during this session, you each have the option to use an exceptional ability, which gives you a reroll. Okay, and then success is defined by there will be a set of target numbers that the 3 of you have to get. So it might be that between the 3 of you, we need 2 11s or higher. That's the way it works. All right. Any questions? No? Good? Get it? Got it? Good. Okay. So, the Black Cat. Oh, we should say who's playing who. Bryan?
I am Sir Foley Harberton, the Black Cat. I'm some kind of fencer. I'm a swordsman of great dispute, or great repute, or perhaps dispute.
Yeah, I think you got that right, actually. Out of the mouths of babes. Or Derek?
I am playing Armando. He's a bard. And on here it says that he's an old school AD&D bard. So that is a bard on crack, if you've never played old school AD&D.
That's not quite how I would remember it, but yeah. In old school D&D, you had to be a fighter and then switch classes to thief, or the other way around.
Fighter,
then
thief,
mage too, didn't you?
and mage.
No, I think it was just the 2. I think it was a fighter and then a thief, and then you switched to
Bard was
bard.
like the only one that you
Somebody in
did
chat is typing madly right now,
No,
correcting us on all
yes,
this. Great,
yeah.
go for it. Okay, because we are at GaryCon, so
Yeah,
There are many.
we are going to have shame points, and we have to explain in the bar tonight if we got that wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to be sure.
Yeah, sure.
Because Bryan and I are here saying it's 3. Peter's saying it's 2. So if we're right, does that mean we get extra XP?
If we're right, we don't get to do this
Somebody
again. I
is
think I'm going to
watching
go
chat.
with shit.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody's looking it up for us.
All right, there
Feel
we
free to
go.
send me right. This is AD&D. I want to get this right. Yes. So okay. Somebody tell me.
Hey,
All right.
Gary, go.
While we're waiting for the answer on that, Liz.
I am playing Maeve, the Dorian human. I am a connected warlock.
Whoa.
I have great powers.
Yes.
But
Yes.
no responsibility.
There you go. Okay. So now that we know who all the characters are, the Black Cat has been hired to fix a problem named Heinz, aka the Hessen. to kill him or at least disfigure him so my wife will never want to dally with him again. And tell him that it was I, Baron Vladimir Karhonen, who was the instrument of his doom. Yes, he told you to tell him that before you kill him, or whatever it is you do. The price is 1,000 silver groschen, which is enough money to change your lifestyle significantly or buy some better adventuring gear. What do you choose?
Very expensive wine.
The Black Cat has promised a share of this money to Maeve and Armando if they are successful in earning the award. So you're all here, you're all in it for the money. Okay, especially the Black Cat. The price is important. Yeah, okay. That was GM information. Let me keep reading. You saw it here first. A little out of practice. All right. Okay, so you have tracked the Hessen to Graver's Dig, a gritty frontier town known for the Samarian hunt, where trappers, hunters, and grave robbers gather to seek fame and fortune. The streets are muddy and the smell of feces permeates the air with the sights and sounds of arguments, drunken brawls, and the admonishments of brave abolitionists decrying the greed, corruption, hedonism, and loss of family values in this lawless, godforsaken port of call. The sounds of hustle and bustle are sudden. Some of you are very excited about that description, and some of you are a little worried. Okay. It's medieval life. God, my medieval life is gross. So there we go. A little taste of that. Now, on to something more pleasant. The sounds of hustle and bustle are suddenly interrupted by screams of panic and the sounds of weapons draw and spell conjurations as the entire despicable town is beset upon by terrors from below. Specifically, tunnel terrors by the hundreds. Juvenile tunnel terrors, just to point out, burrowing up through the ground, attacking relentlessly, as if some terror from below had pronounced judgment on this city. Probably several terrors have in years past. Fortunately, these tunnel terrors are juvenile delinquent tunnel terrors engaging in the ritual of survival of the fittest. And that's what they look like, in case you're curious. Only these are a little smaller. All right.
You downplayed this a little.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Okay, so
That's the juvenile.
I probably can't frame
I don't
it
wanna see his
correctly, but
nose.
it gives you an idea. Yeah. When you come back to the movie version, you'll see a really nice piece of art illustrating it. That's your incentive to come back. All right. So normally there's a little bit of like role play and stuff like that, but these tunnels, there's none of that. We're just going to cut right to the chase because these tunnel terrors just break up as you're wandering by Linwood Leathercraft. What was the name of that store?
Soft goods.
Linwood Soft Goods.
Full leathercraft.
Yeah, it is a leathercraft store. So it is they sell leather and stuff like that. It's kind of piqued your interest. And these tunnel terrors burst up to the ground right in your midst. There are no front lines, no opportunities to assume a fighting formation. It's a no holds barred melee with no quarter asked or given. So we're going to dive right into figuring out how this mechanic works. Okay, so Brian.
Yes.
Roll D20 for me, please.
Please call me Sir Foley.
Sir Foley. As a sound effect. I love that.
What am I rolling? What am I doing?
A D20. It's the one with many sides.
Straight combat.
The die with the most sides.
That would be a 14.
14. Okay, and by the way, the success criteria for this is 2 11s or better. So you guys are halfway there. And if you succeed, well, that just means you survived. If you fail, then you end up with a penalty in your next encounter. That's how damage works.
If we fail,
All right.
game is over.
Right.
Don't screw up this.
Yeah. Okay, so now, Derek, if you would roll a D20 for me, please.
Armando.
Yes, Armando.
Armando says 4.
4? Oh, good. Okay. It's no pressure, Liz, but it's riding on you.
Uh-oh.
9?
9.
Okay, let's see. No 20s, no 7s. This is currently sitting at a failure option. Okay, so the way we're going to narrate this out is we're going to start with you, Brian, because you actually succeeded. So you're going to give us a strong narrative opening that's going to make it seem like you have this battle in hand because of how you. So what ability are you going to use?
Well, I am trained under the undisputed greatest swordsman of Chaldea.
Yes, that's true.
So I am dancing around using my fancy elven boots, pulling a, I don't know if I can use trademark material. There's a movie about little ground things that come up on the ground.
Yeah, we'll change it if you do.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. You can use it. We can't.
I'm going to be pulling a Kevin Bacon and jumping around on things that aren't on the ground.
Yeah, glorious.
Just kind of stabbing down.
Fabulous. You're doing great. You're holding up really well.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately,
trying to focus on all of the ladies in distress.
Yeah. Okay, you're doing great. Liz, you're not doing so well. Narrate how that is playing out for us.
Seeing how well Sir Foley is doing, hopping around and taking out the little nastiness, I'm going to use my blinding speed, or attempt to get to a spot well away from the little terrors.
Okay, yeah. You're run away! That's what I heard. Okay, you're trying to run away.
We are supposed to be fighting.
Unfortunately, it turns out the tunnel terrors are really fast, and you're not getting away. You're just getting over to the side a bit and still fighting tunnel terrors. Okay, Derek, why don't you explain how you just absolutely, really, totally botched it?
Well, Armando saw my friend Sir Foley jumping around, moving wonderfully, beautifully, and I was inspired to sing, and I sucked in my breath, and the terror came out of the ground and spewed dirt in my face.
Okay, that's excellent. Now, the encounter could end here as a failure, or one of you could now activate your exceptional ability and get a reroll.
My exceptional ability does not really pertain to this.
Well,
you already succeeded. Actually, I should say that Derek or Liz could try and turn their failure into a success.
Well, my exceptional ability, as I recover, as the water flows into my mouth.
So you are going to use it?
Yeah, why not?
But before you narrate it, let's see how it worked. Let's see how well you did. Roll D20.
Oh. And I didn't bring my dice blessings with me. We're in trouble.
Whoa!
That's what I'm talking about.
20.
That is a nat 20.
Okay. Derek, explain how Gabriel, you're going to love this. How Armando saves the day.
Armando had been choking on the dirt, but somehow, in his deepest soul, he cries out and he welts out a beautiful, fortissimo chord in a thunderous voice that renders flesh and shatters stone. Break on through to the other side. We're gonna break on through to the other side.
Excellent. Well done. Bravo.
I can't sing.
The tunnel tears are, let's see, burst or whatever. What was it? They rend. Oh, their flesh is rended. Yeah, and they're stone. They don't have stone, but they have flesh. So yeah, they're just rended. They're just like coming apart at the seams, like like a cat who got into the middle of the yarn. Yeah. There we go. All right. Excellent. You survived the first encounter. Barely. But that's okay. I'm getting you to use up your once per game resources, so I'm happy with that. Okay. A couple of days pass after the tunnel terror plague, and you spot the Hessin. At least you think it's the Hessin. He enters Dogs. Dogs is a large tent market stall for Master. Master is an ogre dog breeder who sells the most valuable possessions a hunting party might invest in. No, we're not talking about armor, swords, spell scrolls, or iron rations. We're talking about dogs, hunting dogs, guard dogs, war dogs. Pro tip, if you're ever playing AD&D or any version of D&D, try and get your dungeon master to let you buy a dog. It will be the best money ever spent. Okay, back to the game. So if you are of I'm serious, they're laughing. I am serious. This is a free pro tip that we give these out on Actoroke. Stay tuned. Okay, another pro tips. Okay, if you are no, you're not in a scene yet. You can't do anything until you're in a scene. Okay, if you are of like mind, this is the place to go in Graver's Dig. Yes. Okay. So enough of the pro tips. You spot the Hessin entering Dogs, and you immediately give chase. passing Unruly, a particularly large and vicious-looking war dog with glowing red eyes who's outside the tent, if on guard. He's chained up with this big chain made of chain metal. After giving Unruly a wide berth, you enter the tent only to find the place in absolute chaos. The cages that all the dogs are kept in have burst open somehow all at once, and all the dogs have turned ravenous and rabid and are now coming out of the cages, attacking you and attacking Master, apparently, who is indeed a large ogre, or at least part ogre. If you knew ogres real well, you might think he's a little small for an ogre. But anyway, I digress. And so these dogs are all attacking everything in sight, and Master is trying to get them back under control. And since dogs are attacking you, Master yells out, You hurt my dogs, I hurt you. So, how do you want to handle this? You do have options.
We have options. Well, so it's already embroiled. Like things are already going. The chaos is already ensued.
Yes.
Well, my sneakiness is irrelevant. I try and tiptoes past the chaos. I will.
And you can confer as players. I don't mind metagaming.
I have jerky for rations.
Oh, that's great.
I think that might be a distraction for dogs.
I am well loved by all. So if you throw the jerky to me, I might be able to maybe get them all to, I don't know, sing and dance. Like we have like some kind of like row of I'm kidding.
Dog chorus line?
No, I really I don't want to stab them because the ogre will beat me.
Yeah, no, I don't want to stab them either.
So they are attacking you. So if you think in D&D terms, like what might you do in a melee round if somebody was attacking you but you didn't really want to attack them back?
We're in a tent, correct?
Yes.
Can we just bring the tent down on the dogs?
Oh, it would bring it down on us too.
Fair.
But then we can sneak out of the tent.
I think that's a great idea as I'm backing out of the tent already. Excellent, mate. You ran away the first time, stage left. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll help you. The term I was looking for was fight defensively. Like in D&D, you can like take actions to, in addition to trying to take down the tent. Wow, let me rearrange the consonants in that sentence. In addition to trying to take down the tent, that was surprisingly hard. You can fight defensively while you're doing that, or you can fight. You have to fight in some way, but you can withhold your attacks if that's
maybe a lot of nose bobs.
Okay.
Yes, just strictly
non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
That's another option, right? Okay. And you see Master grabbing, like he grabs a bone and he's like yelling like with this bone, he's like, Surly. And Surly, he's looking at one of the dogs in particular, and Surly doesn't seem to care. And so he grabs another bone, Broke Tooth, and Broke Tooth doesn't seem to care. And the dogs, and he's doing the same thing. He is trying to fight somewhat defensively. He's trying to not get hurt by the dogs without hurting them back in a serious way, like non-lethal damage. That's a great. Okay, so now that I understand the nature of how you're going to do, you know what comes next. Roll the dice, please. And in this particular case, you need an 11 and a 16.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna, while I'm doing the bopping on the nose and everything, I'm going to chastise Master a little bit and let him know.
Make the die rolls first, and then I will have you narrate based on the die rolls.
That'd be a 10.
Oh, 10.
Not quite.
Yep. Okay. Derek.
2.
All right, Liz.
8.
Oh, we get bit by so many dogs.
Oh, wow. This is not good. Okay. Yes. I don't know where to start. Okay. So we're going to start with I'm just going to go down the row here because, So, Bryan, narrate how this is going and which of your standard abilities you're using.
I'm using my Yeah, we'll try and do because I'm trying to sneak out of the tent while we're knocking things over. I'm going to use my magical elven boots that specifically, not even guard dogs, can hear my stealthy approach. I'm hoping that works in reverse as well.
Okay, using your elven boots to try. Yeah, it turns out the dogs can't hear you. That's true. They can't even hear each other, but they could see you just fine. And there you are.
I am going to yell at Master and be like, this is what you get for having dogs that have red glowing eyes.
Okay. Usually it's only Unruly that has the red glowing eyes. All right, Derek.
Well, I was going to use my magical singing sword to boop one of the dogs on the nose, but it appears that went badly.
Yeah.
So
That's what you were trying to do. You were trying to sing in harmony with the
my sword. And
I think the sword misunderstood, like sort of temporarily forgot who it was supposed to be singing in harmony with, and was singing in harmony with the dogs.
Yes.
Yeah. And pretty
We're
soon,
singing in the...
I think pretty soon you were kind of singing in harmony with the dogs as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Mando, you're helping them.
Liz.
I command the mystical powers of the universe to try to bring this tent down, moving the earth, bringing down the tent.
It's a little hard to do that when dogs are chewing your heels. I think that's a failed concentration sort of effect. All right, does anybody want to use an exceptional ability to re-roll? The challenge here is that you haven't met either of the requirements. If one of you succeeds at doing the exceptional roll, you still won't have won the encounter because you need an 11 plus and a 16 plus, and we don't have either of those numbers yet. So you would have to burn through both, or you can just take the negative adjustments that will come later.
My exceptional ability is super killy. Like, it would be like, yeah, okay, we win, but I kill the dogs.
I summon a demon, so.
Oh,
yeah, let's save that for later. Demon summoning always comes in the final
I
act.
think we start
already
with
have
dog
demons.
bites.
Yeah, okay. It's a bloody mess before you get the dogs back under control. I mean, it continues to be like this chaos of and trying to get the dogs, trying not to hurt the dogs. After a while, you're probably not as worried about hurting the dogs too much. Maybe just want to hurt them a little bit more, just trying to get them to stop hurting you. And and then all of a sudden, almost as if the duration of some sort of supernatural event had expired, the dogs stop and look just as confused as you are, and and are really worried, and because Master's got all the bones now, he's got all the rule bones in his arms, and he's bouncing up and down and yelling, all the names of all the dogs and stuff like that. So yeah, that was painful and sucked, and and Master's like, thank you for going easy on the dogs. There's some ensorcelment afoot.
So this is normal? I point at Unruly.
Oh, Unruly's still outside. He never came in.
Oh, I thought you said he was biting us.
No, Unruly was tied to a post outside with a chain.
Throw him at Unruly instead of pointing at him since he's not in the tent.
Yeah. No, Unruly stayed out there, quiet, unaffected by whatever the ensorcelment was, and tied to a post. So, okay, I'll tell you what happens next. So Master is very thankful that you didn't kill any of his dogs and that you helped him restore order. He encourages you to find the scoundrel who did this and describes him as... Oh, by the way, before I forget, this is Master, who will be performed by David Baxter on Saturday. You can pass that down. There's Master.
Definitely did not want to get him out of us.
No.
And he gives you a better description of Heinz the Hessen, who will be performed by Patrick Keefe on Saturday. And while we're mentioning names, name dropping, we should mention who will be playing the players on Saturday morning. Maeve will be performed by Sarah Moore. Armando, any of you who've been fans of Actoroke in the past probably know Armando will be performed by none other than Gabriel Mondo Vega. And the cat, aka Sir Foley something or other.
Harberton.
Will be performed by Daryl Judd. All right, excellent. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so he helps you lock in your visual description of the Hessen, because he saw him, and he offers to loan you Unruly to help track down the Hessen, which will, if you accept, will give you an advantage in the next encounter, which might be helpful given the number of advantages you have now.
Wait a second. That might have been a hint.
So here's one of the rules of Actoroke. Anything that would slow the game down is a no-no. You don't get to buy a dog. You can come back and buy a dog. Right now, the hunt is on, and even though you failed the encounter, you still get the help of master, actually, which might have been a flaw in the adventure design. I don't know, but you still have penalties. Okay, so do you accept master's offer?
I mean, it makes sense. You summon demons, the dog has creepy red eyes, and you have beef jerky. I think it goes to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We take the dog.
Great. Excellent. That was the right choice.
I don't make the decision, so it doesn't matter to me.
All right. Okay. So under. There we go. Okay. Unruly follows the tracks of the Hessen, which lead to the same inn where you are lodging. In fact, the same room where you are lodging. You surprise the Hessen, who is rummaging through your things for valuables and clues as to why you're after him. Apparently, he's onto you. The Hessen's first instinct is to grab an ornate hourglass from his belt. This can't be good. But because you have surprised the Hessen, the first die roll has a chance of stopping him from doing whatever it is he's doing. Pick among you who will make the first roll. And the rolls that you need in this encounter are a 6 or better, an 11 or better, and a 16 or better.
All right.
So who thinks they can roll at least a 6?
All right. In this case, my exception ability might actually come into play. So if I screw this up, I can reroll. Maybe, possibly, hopefully.
All the rolls will happen before you reroll. But yes, if you screw this up, it means that that he turns over the hourglass. You don't get a reroll to affect the hourglass.
All right.
Okay, so we just need a 6, Brian. How hard
17.
can it be? There you go.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
See?
So
From the front.
using one of your abilities, standard abilities, describe how you stop him from turning over the hourglass.
This is my genteel persuasive appeal. So I'm open hands, walk forward, be like, no. Everything's fine. Whatever you're doing, you don't have to do that. What? Please don't. And I'm going to try and snag the hourglass. Or at least keep it from turning.
Yeah. I like the idea that you're both like this with the hourglass, and you've kept it from turning over, which is good. Okay, so what? I also will not try and perform an accent. Why are you tracking me? Who sent you? I know it was. No.
I was going to say, you were at the bar. Why don't you give him a big belt out about Mr. Vladimir?
What was Vladimir's full name again?
Really close.
Vladimir Karhonen.
Karhonen. I almost called him Harkonnen.
That's exactly what
What?
Vladimir Harkonnen has sent us because of your nefarious love-making skills. We've heard that you have taken advantage of a woman in his life, and he is not happy.
Okay, so I'm sensing that you guys are going to try to basically persuade him, negotiate with him. Is that what's happening here?
It may have to start that way. So you can get him to disappear. He's far too pretty to disfigure, and killing is just wrong in most cases. And he may very well have a lot of money.
The actor's sitting right over there, and he's got a big smile on his face. Far too pretty. Okay. Yeah. Unzip that a little bit. Warm in here. We're hot duelists looking back and forth at each other. You're too pretty to speak.
While we're struggling.
Yeah, struggling with the hourglass. Okay, and the bard trying to get in on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need the rolls from Derek and Liz, your D20 rolls. And you had a 17, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Nice.
What did you get?
And unruly as a
20.
A 20. Okay, with a 20, you can get, what did you get? I'm guessing
3.
not that good. Okay. If you like, with a 20, you can give another PC a reroll. Oh, wonder which one.
I wonder.
Yeah. So we got a 17, 20, and a 3. But a 20 was a reroll. Now we have a 17. Okay. So there we go. We did Bryan's already, and okay. You're going to narrate how you're going to join this persuasion, and I will give you a hint. One possible way, because you have won this encounter already, I'll give you just a narrative hint if you want to use it, is that you could probably shake him down for paying you whatever the Baron was going to pay you. Maybe he would pay you more. That's just an option, right? Okay, so Liz, explain how you participate in this narration.
Well, clearly we've been sent to kill you. The price, though, is pretty steep. I believe we were promised 2,000 silver.
I thought it was 2,500.
Oh, you might be right. And if you would be willing to
It's ridiculous.
pay us off, then we wouldn't be forced to kill you. Of course, you would have to disappear. And at being as pretty as you are, you might not want to disappear.
Oh, that despicable Baron. You've obviously never been to Hesse, or you would know that the Carhonans are masters of treachery.
This is not helping your case.
How much are you offering? Your turn.
Well, we were told 2,500, but your beauty has swayed us, I believe. In fact, your beauty and your lovemaking skills have impressed us all. So we'll take 2,000 silver florins.
Let me get this straight. You're going to shake him down and ask him to pay less than what the Baron paid? Okay.
Well,
Okay.
the Baron only offered us 1,000.
Obviously, our
Very good. Fair enough.
Obviously,
Okay.
our
Fair enough.
than I thought.
I also was confused.
No, the Baron offered us
Adkison.
1,000.
Yeah.
We told him the Baron offered us 2,500.
I see.
And I am
Right.
lying to him and telling him his beauty has swayed us to knock off 500 silver.
Okay. I'm a little bit short on cash. Could I interest you in magic? I have 2 magic items. You could pick between them. Both of them are worth far more than a mere 2,500 silver groschens.
Goodness.
Then he has the hourglass,
Both.
and he also has a fish, a gar. You know, if those ones long. Yeah, it's a gar. It's about a 2-foot long gar. So he's got an hourglass in one hand. This fish, which is flopping around, but
So it's alive.
it's a living fish, but it does. I mean,
How far are we from any source of water?
oh, this is the port city, so it's probably fine.
I worry about a man who carries around a flopping fish in his pocket.
Yes. So
Is that a fish in my pocket or are you happy to see me?
this is, yeah, if placed in the wrong place, it can give off the wrong impression. Yes,
know if there's
yes.
a place
I smell something very fishy here right now.
Right. So, so this is the hourglass of Parley, and this is my getaway gar.
That's great.
You saw the effects of it back in Dogs.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Okay, make a choice.
Well, if we kill you, we could take both. So we let you live.
Far too pretty for that.
But we are adventurers. We are gravers of some
Some honor, yeah.
respectful.
When it's convenient.
Yeah, we want honor.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things.
of
We
course
don't want
you
people
do.
to talk bad about.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
That's
steal a man's fish.
Yeah.
I can't even say that.
Give him that a fish.
Yeah.
He eats for a day.
I'll like kind of finish the poll on the.
I'll finish the
hourglass.
poll on the hourglass. Excellent. All right.
Now that we've taken this, what does it do?
When you activate it, it creates chaos in wherever you're at, so you can get away.
Oh,
Yeah. So in the final edit, you'll see a picture,
Wait.
an illustration of Heinz running out the back of the tent of Master as all the dogs go crazy.
so the fish does that, or
The fish.
Okay, what does the hourglass do?
The hourglass forces a parlay.
Oh, I almost want.
Yeah.
Part of me wants the fish.
You want to change your...
No.
I think we should.
No, you want to weigh in on
Just
what the hourglass for, or the getaway gar? The getaway gar, yes.
The getaway guard.
I don't
The
know.
actor has weighed in, but you as the player are the one that gets to decide.
Having the actor handle a live fish could be really fun.
But finding it on set and having to deal with...
We were in Lake Geneva. Or we would require.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was Actoroke RPG. Oh, and there is we do have the illustration of the getaway gar in action. Can you put that to camera just in case somebody missed it early? Yep, all right.
So good.
And thank you for watching. We will be back on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central. I'm saying it slowly to make sure I get it right. 10 a.m. Central Time for recording the actors, which I mentioned previously, performing this chaos. And then on Sunday at 2 p.m., yes, that quickly, just a mere 3 days from now, we will have the movie edited and we will have our movie night. Bring your
got
popcorn. BYOCP. As in CP Steel. Get us out of here, Jimmy, please.